show you how to plant the Kelsae onions, which have now been in this coal frame for about 2 weeks, so they're well hardened off, and the plants are looking quite good. So that's essentially what we've got. There are good roots coming through the bottom there, so it's just about the right time to plant them out. So I'm going to put some of these into here, into this ground down here, and I'll just show you the other onions too. Well, these are the stew-on onions that we planted out last time, and these are the garlic. You can see how they've grown quite a bit now. Quite a good size. The temperature in the ground is still just 10 degrees, so it's still quite cold. It's been very cold in the last 2 weeks, but the onions have grown considerably. Got a few shallots in here at the end as well, and they seem to be doing okay too. So what I'm going to do now is spread some of this pelleted chicken manure onto the ground. I'm going to give it a quick rake in. Actually a bit further up than that, I think. Let's give it a little rake over. See, there's plenty of moisture in the soil, and it's been raining for about 3 days. It doesn't have to be a fine till for the onions. Just want to get it reasonably flat for improving drainage and that sort of a thing. Making it easier to plant. That'll do me fine. Right, I'm just going to put in a hole in here next to the shallots here, just to use up that row, and simply just the same as I did before, tap out the onion. A lovely root on there, lovely root, you can see that. So we'll just put that straight into there. I'm just going to do them 4 inches apart. Gently firm them in, make sure you don't bury them. It's as well to keep them in a line, because then you can just go through and weed later on when you need to, and you can use a proper onion hoe in between the rows. It's also quite amazing how much you can get out of a small piece of ground like this. So you can get a lot of production out of a little piece of ground. It's amazing, as long as you keep the weeds down. Put another one in here. It's very important to make sure that your plants are hardened off, so they've got to be kept outside or in a cold frame for at least a week. And that includes if you're buying them from the shops too. Okay, so there we can see the onions, the Kelsae onions just planted in. They're looking pretty good. So I'll be watering those in a few minutes. Well, I thought I'd try a little experiment this year and try growing some onions in pots. In fact, one very large pot. This is quite a big one. First thing you need to do is make sure you drill some holes in the bottom. Get plenty of drainage holes in there. Put a large pot So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fill this up here, and it's in the wheelbarrow so that I can move it easily to the final destination, because I want to go and put it into an automatic watering system which runs around the garden. So I'll show you that at another stage when I have it rigged up, but at the moment I just want to be able to move the pot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use well rotted garden compost, which has come out of one of these green bins behind me, and I'm going to also use some soil from out the vegetable garden, which will just help it have some substance to it. I'm going to put I've got 8 there. We'll see how we go. Probably 6 or 8 onions in this one large pot. I'm also going to put in some fish blood and bone meal, and I'm going to put in some chicken manure pellets as well. I'm going to mix those all together and then put it into the pot. So here goes. And the garden compost. I'll just give that a mix up in there in a second. Put some of the soil in. This soil was not used for growing onions in for the last year. In fact, it was quite good because it had peas in it. Sorry, it had peas and broad beans in it, which is ideal. I've left the roots in over the winter so that adds nitrogen to the soil. So I put in some fish blood and bone. I'll also put in some chicken manure. Just give that a bit of a mix around. So that'll do for the first layer. So I'm just going to continue building that up a wee bit. So get some more compost. It's really good stuff, that. A bit more fish blood and bone. Some more chicken manure. Mix it around. Bit of a big piece. Lay that over there. It's looking good. Right, that should just about do us, I think. More chicken, fish blood and bone. More chicken manure. Mix it around. There we go, that's looking pretty good. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put some bought compost on top of that. The reason for that is it'll create a mulch so that the weeds, it'll stop a lot of the weeds from coming through from my own compost, which no doubt there will be some. So I'll just get the mulch material now. First we use multi-purpose compost for this. So I'm just going to put in a good 2-inch covering, maybe 2 to 3 inches of covering. And this will all settle down a bit as you water it and just break up these big lumps. should do it. Just level it out. Right, now can I lift that? That's the question. Just, I think I'm going to put that in place and then plant the onions in when I've got it in place, because it's still pretty heavy now. Okay, well, there was a little spillage on that one, but not too bad. At least I managed to get it out of the barrel and into its position. So what I'm going to do is just, same again, just dig some holes in this, and I put these Kelsae onions into here. So I'm hoping that it's going to be pretty weed free, and it'll be well watered because it'll be on the automated watering system. Slam them in gently, and then they need to have a good water. Now, as long as the dogs leave these alone, they should be okay. So, our little chihuahuas are very inquisitive. I'm just hoping they don't pull them out. It is important to give them a good watering in. Watering with pots is particularly important because they do dry out very quickly, and if it doesn't rain for 3 or 4 days, they're going to be totally dried out. So that's why I use the automated watering system on these. I'll run a hose along here, along a number of pots, which I'll be putting some broad beans, some runner beans into. So I'll show you that in another video. Well, thank you for watching, and we'll show you the automated watering system and progress in about a month's time.